Jaylo,
Yes.
you still have that Rona.
So do you, bub.
I do, but I think it's more pronounced in you right now.
No, it's not. It's just
I can hear it a lot more.
It's a cough, bubs. It's just junk in the throat
Caused by that Rona.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Did you stop already?
Stop what?
Calling it that Rona.
It is that Rona.
Well, it's pretty much. I mean, there's still some remnants of it, but it's not that bad, really.
When you were taking the shower earlier, I could really hear it.
I know, Buzz, but it's just a junk in the throat.
Okay, Jaylo Beth. You have a lot of nicknames.
From you, yes.
Oh.
Jaylo Beth.
Little Jaylo Champ is another new nickname.
Before it was Jaylo May?
Yep.
Jaylo May.
How did you acquire all these nicknames?
It was because of you, Bub.
So your family doesn't call you Little Jaylo Champ or Jaylo May?
No.
Okay.
They never called me that. They have other nicknames for me, but they never called me those.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
Well, yeah.
Just like your family has nicknames for you.
They call me Ricky still. I hate that. My sister doesn't do that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I know she calls you bro, right?
Yeah, and I call everybody else bro, too. So sometimes I randomly call my friends bro. And,
Oh, okay.
I don't mind that.
Yeah. There are names that my family calls me that I don't want anyone to call me. Because it's specifically from my family.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone calling me that. But that's just me.
I don't really talk to my family. I mean, I talk to my sister here and there and my nephew, obviously. But my dad's side of the family, it's weird. They live here, but we never really talk to each other.
That's interesting.
Which I would be fine with, except whenever we talk, they're always like, trying to stress the importance of family. But I'm like, if you guys talk to everybody else, but we don't communicate, then why do we have to put up this facade like we care about each other?
Or maybe, somebody has to take initiative.
Yeah.
Or they need to take initiative because they're the ones that are stressing it.
Mm-hmm.
What goes on in my family is that there's one side of the family I'm very, very connected to, but there's another side of the family that's very distant. But I'll just say one of my relatives is stressing that we reach out to the other side of the family. But the problem is that they have always had a hard time reaching out to us.
Mm-hmm.
And this relative, I won't say who it is, their idea is, well, you're the younger one, you should reach out to them, but it doesn't make any sense.
I don't get that either.
I never understood that. I never got that. And I'm thinking, well, you know what? There is Facebook if they're on social media. I would just as well have my sister, give them a message on Facebook or something, and then they'll pass on my message to them.
Well, here's an option.
Yeah.
Since this relative doesn't talk to that side of the family, since they're not really her family,
yeah,
you could just lie and say that you're in contact with these people. So you never know, right?
No.
Why
should I lie about that? It's the truth. I don't really connect with that side of the family because they've been gone so long.
Yeah.
They've been separated. We've been separated from them for years. One of the relatives that I haven't talked to in a while, I mean, she left Hawaii like back in 1989 after she got married, and it's been years. I think the last time I really talked to her, that was when I was sick, which is kind of interesting that a sickness has to kind of make people come together. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
It's really sad that really happened.
And that was back in 2008.
That was back in 2008, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, why does it have to take a sickness for one side of the family to see how the other how I'm doing? I don't understand. It's very frustrating, actually. And I think there was one time when I contacted one of my relatives that I don't talk to much,
mm-hmm.
and she couldn't remember how old I was. That's how disconnected it is.
In fairness, though, I think that's actually a common thing for relatives to forget the age of other people in their family.
I understand. But the idea that the younger ones have to reach out to the older ones, I never understood.
I hear you on that one.
I think it's the older people that have to set the example for the younger people.
Mm-hmm.
And, whether it's by writing, whether it's by whatever it is. And, before they did send us presents, but it's kind of, people have gotten older and, I don't know.
I kind of look like it like this. If you can get along with your family, great. And if not, they're just people that you're related to that are out in the world. And everybody does their own thing.
Well, I have a, my dad's cousin, I haven't seen him since I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
He, was the son of my dad's aunt and uncle that used to live in New York. They're both dead now, unfortunately.
Oh.
But he, when I met him, he was a teenager then, and he was vacationing in Hawaii with us. So that was the very first time I ever met him. I think he might have been in his early teens, and that's the last time I saw him. And I think he since got married and moved to Australia. So I don't know if I'm ever going to see him again.
Yeah, if I was in a bind, I probably wouldn't call any of my relatives, just because what are they going to do? And vice versa. I don't think that they'd reach out to me if they had difficulty. So
that's sad. I mean, it's sad that you don't have any contact with any side of your family.
Well, I do a little bit with my mom's side of the family. And I'm friends with some of my dad's relatives on Facebook, but that's as far as it goes.
Okay.
We keep it formal.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine doing that. I can't. I mean, I'm at least connected to one side of my family, and then the other ones they can find out from that side of the family, my mom's side of the family that I'm connected to.
Both of my parents were kind of black sheeps in their family.
Yeah.
And how do I want to say this? I love my parents. I really do. What?
You sound so begrudgingly.
But I think that them being fuck ups, excuse my French, kind of ruined the chance I had with a relationship with my family, with the rest of them.
Why does it have to be dependent on them? Why?
Because that's the environment I was raised in.
Why couldn't you make the first move, or at least have somebody else do it?
I don't know. I just think that that's the way it is. And, I don't really want to. Well, and the other thing, too, is like with my dad's side of the family, they're not always, but whenever my dad comes up, they're always trying to like make excuses for him and whatnot. So it's like this weird thing of this like Republican, everybody do for themselves, but my dad, oh, he had such a rough life, even though it doesn't seem that rough to me. But
why couldn't they just say? Why couldn't it just be like, well, he had a rough life, and that's what he chose to do to have.
Yeah.
Like that's what he chose to have.
Exactly.
And if he didn't want to be in the family, then that's it.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it.
I understand. I mean, you don't want to give up on the person, except that they gave up on themselves a long time ago. What else can you do?
Mm-hmm.
All you can do is just hope that they come back.
Yeah, that's not.
And they may not.
What? Ow! You touched my titty.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
You touched my titty.
Okay, I'm sorry.
May I say your piece, and then I'm going to suggest a new rule.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Bob. I didn't mean to do that.
Maybe a new rule is we don't tickle each other during the podcast.
That's not going to work, Bubs.
Bob, I'm going to get to you, Bob.
That's why people like our podcast.
All right,
because
give me a kiss.
Okay, what I was going to say, and
yeah.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to touch you there.
Okay.
I just think that it sounds to me like the one side of your family that you have tried to keep in contact with need to exercise tough love when it comes to your own dad. It's sad to think of. It's sad to hear about that kind of stuff because they don't want to give up on that. They don't want to give up on him, but if he's given up on himself and doesn't want to come back to the family, what else can you do about
Well, okay, let's also keep it real and maybe give some shade to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried that hard. So I don't want to make it sound like, oh, I'm calling them every day or, anything like, because that's not the truth.
Oh, right.
And also, it's not like they bring up my dad all the time. It's just that when he comes up, it seems like there's a lot of excuses.
Have you ever thought, and I'm not saying you should do this.
Go on.
Have you ever thought that if one relative, whoever it is that you talk to, brings up your dad and they try and make excuses, have you ever thought of bringing out and saying, why do you always make excuses for something that...
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay.
And there's just like this runaround, and like I could give you a quick example. When my grandma died, who is my dad's mom,
mm-hmm.
he didn't come to the funeral, and his excuse was he didn't have a working car.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, but I made it there. I didn't have a working car. I figured it out.
Yeah, and he could have easily gotten someone to take him there.
Yeah.
What's his excuse?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's supposed to be quote unquote able-bodied.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be quote unquote able-bodied. You have you don't have a lot of vision, but you're able to get there.
I'm not able to drive because I have such low vision.
Yeah, that's right. You have low vision. You weren't able to drive, but you were able to go.
Exactly. I made it work.
You did make it work. So what's his excuse?
Exactly.
Thinking about this, Bubs.
What's up?
Somebody who has cerebral palsy,
mm-hmm.
Is not only having a hard time walking, but also has a hard time talking.
Exactly.
And I heard a speech that he gave to a group of people, and he basically asked them, "What's your problem?" Right?
Oh, this dude with cerebral palsy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's he's a speaker. And he basically said, "Okay, well, look at me. Okay, I have a speech impediment. I have a hard time walking." And the question he posed to the audience is, "What's your problem?
Mm-hmm.
You have all the you have what's your problem, healthy man, healthy woman?
Yeah,
I can't do a lot of things, but I'm not going to let it stop me."
I hear you, and I don't want to say that that's not a legitimate point, but there are other factors in it too. So did the able-bodied person grow up in a good family? Or maybe the person with CP was born into a very loving, understanding home that was able to encourage him just the right way.
Well, he was actually talking about that. Both of his parents died by the time he was a teenager.
Wow.
His mom died of cancer. His dad, I forgot what he died of. He might have died of cancer. He was the baby of 8 kids.
Oh.
All of his family gave up on him except for his sister. So he had a lot of stuff going on with him. So he had to come to terms with it. And it took a while for him.
Mm-hmm.
It took a lot of work. He went to college, got a good education. His family told him he would never get married, but he got married and had 4 kids. Really a very inspiring story, but he had to work at it. It wasn't like it was easy for him all the time, of course. Even though he came from a very good family, he had to work on himself.
Yeah. And
I think about that and I'm like, that's true. I'm thinking, you know what? I really don't have a lot to complain about, to tell you the truth. But what about the people that got themselves into severe addiction, and they're not willing to try hard to be in society again?
Exactly.
And it's hard to feel for people that do that. Just like as we've talked about with the homeless crisis, there are people that become homeless because they were kicked out of whatever it was, like if it was a domestic violence situation. But there are people that became homeless because they weren't paying off their rent because of their addiction.
And we've had this discussion before, but both of my parents became homeless in their 50s.
Uh-huh.
My mom had to do with mental illness, and I guess you could say my dad mental illness, but it's addiction, and that's a really the lines are kind of blurred there.
Yeah, it's kind of blurred, isn't it?
Yeah.
I tend to think, and maybe it's because of frustration that I have, is that some people say that, oh, addiction is a disease. I don't think I see it that way.
We disagree on this, but I will say this, even though I disagree with you, I can see a good argument for your side of the dilemma as well. So it's not just like I disagree with you and you make no sense.
Right.
I disagree with you, but I could see why somebody could see it that way.
Okay. It's hard to especially if you're not in that situation. It's hard to have compassion for people that just don't want to use their potential and do better for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very hard. So I get why you feel resentment, frustration, maybe even anger. I get that. I can understand why.
Thank you, babes.
And I honestly think that there needs to be an exercise of tough love.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. I think that this is where tough love is very much needed, and there needs to be no excuses.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cannot be an excuses, because the more excuses you give the people or the person, the less they will do for themselves. They're never going to get out of that situation.
Yes.
Agreed.
I would agree. I would also say that there's room for compassion. Maybe not for my dad, but for me.
For you?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
No.
There is room for compassion, but it is hard to show compassion if all they want to do is take.
Yeah, it's this weird duality, because I believe in tough love, but you need both, right? You need to be tough, but you also need to have love too. So how do you do that? How do you navigate those waters? And it's not a simple black and white answer, because each individual situation is different.
Well, and think about this. What is the fine line between being compassionate towards someone and enabling them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I personally don't think that my dad's ever going to get sober or anything like that. I think the ship has passed on that one. That's my own opinion. Who knows if that's true or not?
I guess you may never know.
Exactly.
I don't know. But it's true. I mean, what is the fine line between being compassionate and being enabling?
Mm-hmm.
What is the fine line between loving someone by letting them go and doing their thing, and then them and then waiting for them to come back?
But you could take that, sorry to interrupt you, even beyond, oh, my dad's a drug addict, and I disagree with how the family's handling it. You could say, somebody listening to this, maybe their dad's not a drug addict, but maybe their dad comes from as a trust fund kid, and there's issues with that, or they have problems in relationships and they love somebody. Maybe they're in a relationship with an alcoholic, and how do you handle the tough love with that? There's so many different variables and situations.
It is. It's such it can be very complicated. But I don't know. People are different, I guess.
They are.
That's why that's what makes life so exciting, is that we're not cookie cutter people. We don't look the same, we don't talk the same, we don't act the same, for sure.
Okay, so you believe in the idea of heaven.
Of course.
And as we know, I have conflicting feelings about the afterlife and all that stuff. But, okay, you die. You're going to die one day. I hate to break it to you.
And everybody is.
And you get a pass to the good place.
Pass.
You go there. Is everybody just going to be, like, worshiping God and doing the same thing? Or is there going to be some...
I believe that there will be
variety
worship.
In personality.
I don't know what's going to happen. I couldn't tell you what will happen, but I think there's going to be... I do believe that there will be an exceeding amount of joy. There won't be any crying or any sorrow or anything like that. It's going to be like joy multiplied. More, as much joy as you can think of.
Nice.
Even multiplied than the more multiplied than all the joy you can have in this world.
Oh.
And that's the way I think. And I think the idea of worshiping and learning isn't going to be like super boring or anything.
Well, I actually think learning is very interesting depending on what it is you're learning and who the teacher is.
Well, Jesus will be the teacher.
Oh.
We would be learning. People would be learning at his feet.
I want him to do a class on hip hop.
Bubs,
what?
It's not gonna be like that, Bubs.
What?
You're thinking
Maybe have Biggie as a guest teacher.
Bubs.
What's up?
You're too earthly minded.
Oh my goodness, so are you?
You're too earthly minded, and you're heavenly good.
And I'm heavenly good.
What?
And you said I'm heavenly good?
No, I said you're too earthly minded, so you may not be heaven. In order for you to be heavenly good.
Oh my goodness.
You're no heavenly good.
Oh my.
You gotta be anyway. It's hard to explain, but it's not gonna. You have to remember though, heaven and earth are two different places.
Yeah.
And heaven isn't going to be the way that you think. I'm sorry. Heaven is not going to be the same way that earth is. I don't believe that. I think it's going to be way, way, way different.
It felt different in my one out-of-body experience.
That's only an out-of-body experience. And remember, you weren't sober then.
Oh, neither were you.
Ah!
I love you, babes. No, this was before we met. This was years
way before
we got together.
Which I personally think we wouldn't get along very well if it were 20, 30 years ago. I don't. I think we'd be way too different.
We're very different now.
No, but it would be even more different.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't think you would have given me the time of day, to tell you the truth.
Oh my goodness. I think I would have, but you would have been too,
I think I would have been too preoccupied trying to keep all the other guys away from me.
And reading the Bible.
Oh. Well, I didn't get my Bible until I was 29.
Yeah, but you were into the whole church life before then. Yes.
But I think that we would be from totally different walks of life back then, and I don't know that we would be getting along 25 years before.
Yeah, but I am a good Christian man.
What? No, you're not, Bubs. You mock it.
Well,
Bubs.
No, you do.
Mock
no,
it.
I'm here to help you stop mocking.
Mock it.
I'm here to help you stop mocking.
How come you always ask me all these weird questions during my Bible studies?
Because I want to know that I'm learning from a woman who's at least trying to be a good Christian.
Oh, you don't even know what that's about.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of relatives who read the good book on my dad's side of the family.
Good for them.
Oh, it's really helped.
Well, I don't. So it's probably helped some people, but not other people.
No, a friend explained to me like this once, because I had talked to somebody about. I hope I didn't mention this here. But me and this person I used to know, her and I were talking one day about the idea of, wouldn't it be fun to get drunk and go to a fire and brimstone?
You talk about this.
Oh, did I talk about it here?
And she said that's not, some people find comfort in going to church. I don't think that would be a good idea.
Her basic thing was, hey, I know you're thinking that this is a funny thing, but you should be respectful because, yes, there's a lot of hate in those churches, but sometimes that's as good as a person can do. And that church is doing them a better service than if they didn't have it, even if you see it as a place that's filled with hate. And that kind of stuck with me.
Think of a church as a hospital for spiritually sick people. Okay? Instead of thinking of it as a place of hate and discrimination, which a lot of non-Christians like to do, think of it as a place of trying to get people spiritually well instead of letting them be in their spiritual sickness.
Oh.
Because yes, there are people in churches, and they're individuals, not in the entire church, but there are people in churches that are very hypocritical, but it's not always that way. And we're all very, very imperfect people. So you can't expect everybody to be wonderful and pleasant, because we're not wonderful and pleasant all the time.
Yeah.
we're very imperfect people, just like the hypocrites in the pews. So, really, churches are filled with hypocrites that need to be spiritually well.
Oh.
And if you think of it that way, you won't think of it so in such a disdainful way.
Nice.
And but there are some churches that are not helping people to get spiritually well, and they're making them worse.
Oh.
But generally speaking, churches are supposed to be a spiritual hospital, as it were.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I never did get drunk and go to a fire and brimstone church.
No, you don't want to do that.
And maybe that should be the first
they
line
may
of
kick you out of there.
That should be the first line of my autobiography.
Bubs, see, you
What?
mock, Bubs. You
No,
mock.
it's good question
No,
humor. I'm
you
just
mock,
making
Bubs.
fun of my own babe.
You mock.
I'm making fun of my own babes.
You don't even know what that's about, Bubs.
I'm making fun of my own babes. Now give me a kiss. Oh, squeezing my shoulders again. Jay, whoa. Ow.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, all right, give me a kiss.
Getting all the frustration out, Bubs.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, enough of that. Anyway, let's talk about what happened yesterday. We had a very interesting evening.
We did. Okay, so let me say this. We just finished watching Little Women.
No, we didn't. We watched The Champ.
No, I'm telling you what happened
Okay.
this morning, babes, because it relates back to yesterday.
Okay.
Now, we normally don't finish watching movies in the morning, but last night when we were watching the 1949 version of Little Women,
which is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
The electricity went out.
Yes, it did. And we were very worried about that.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure what was going on. I had a feeling that it might have to do with the weather because they said that there could be some power outages because of the rain.
Uh-huh.
But it's flickering on and off. This is around 9:30. I try to find us some music that we can both enjoy. We listen to the Ohio Players.
Very good.
And then I put on an episode that I had recorded off the internets of Mornings Become Eclectic from March 5th, 2021.
Yep.
We're vibing to that and discussing our sitcom idea.
Yes.
Which I don't think we should mention here because we don't want anybody to take it and run.
Well, we should at least talk about the basic premise, should we?
Don't give the title, but give the premise.
Okay. Shall I give the name of the family?
If you want to, but just realize that some producers might be hearing this.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'll let you decide.
So this is kind of like a satirical comedy thing that we were coming up with, and I kind of pitched the idea to you because I thought, oh, wouldn't that be funny if there was a family with the last name of such and such? Mm-hmm. And we got this, I was coming up with these ideas where it's about this Mormon family. It's a wife and husband with a daughter and son, and they're a strict LDS family, and they live in a modest house.
Yeah.
It's in the modern.
It's nice, but it's nice, but they're not like gonna be on cribs.
You're right.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out the location about where they're going to live. I think maybe Utah.
Yeah, it's definitely has to be Utah.
Okay. And so I'm coming up with these different characters. A cousin who's kind of rebellious, but not as rebellious as you think he is.
And when we say rebellious, in one of the episodes, which is a 2-parter, they find that he's been drinking Dr. Pepper.
And his sister has been assigned to go on a missions trip for 2 years. I'm not going to mention more about that.
Well, you don't want me to say what happened to her?
No.
Okay. I would say that, but... If you don't want me to.
Well, it's an idea. Go on and say it.
The idea is that his sister died in a North Korean death camp because she went on a mission to North Korea and they sentenced her to death, basically.
Oh my goodness.
And to cope with this and the loss of his parents, he started drinking a Dr. Pepper. Wow. And there's this big two-parter where there's this intervention and everybody's trying to make sure that he doesn't go off the beaten path. And they let him know that he's on thin ice with God.
Oh my goodness.
Keep going, bitch.
Or maybe the Mormon bishop. Anyway, and then he ends up moving in with his aunt and uncle and cousins because his parents just recently died.
Yep.
I think maybe before his junior year.
Yeah, it was before his sister died in the North Korean death camp.
Anyway, so yeah, that's our sitcom idea, which
and one of the things too is there's an aunt and uncle and the daughter. So the kids are all like roughly high school age, and the daughter spends like, I don't know, a week or two, or maybe just the weekend with the aunt and uncle, who are real liberal and very loose.
They're not liberal.
Well, they're very loose though.
They're not liberal. They're just lenient on certain things.
Gotcha. So she comes back home. And now she wants to rebel against her parents by staying up until 9:30, even though she's only a freshman in high school, instead of her 8:30 bedtime. And she's now listening to Devil's music, which of course is the Carpenters' greatest hits.
The Carpenters and and
John Denver.
And the only secular music that they'll let them listen to is the Osmonds.
Yeah, exactly.
But so the Osmonds, which is funny because the Osmonds and the Carpenters are kind of in the same category.
Mm-hmm. And the mom is freaked out and disturbed that her daughter's going down a really disturbing path that's going to lead to Satan.
And another thing about the mom is that she was adopted into a Mormon family when they adopted her from the Philippines.
Yeah, but the mom loosens up and she agrees that by the time her daughter is a senior in high school, she can go to bed at 9:15 and she can listen to the Carpenters with headphones outside of the house. So she's getting there. She's becoming a little bit more loose.
Oh my goodness.
You know.
That's an expression. Anyway, wow. Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting script. Is it going to get off the ground? We don't know.
We don't know, but it should be a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I will say this, not to argue with my Jaylo or start a big blow up, but it could turn into something.
Like that.
You and I have a disagreement.
What?
I think that this should be an hour-long dramedy, and you think that it should be like a half-hour, mostly comedy.
Well, I kind of think it should be like your typical CBS sitcom with an audience. It could be an hour-long thing. Yeah,
see, I'm thinking now that Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman is off the air, this might be a good replacement. And then Alana pointed out to me that it's been off the air for decades. So.
Just like Empty Nest.
Yes.
Actually, Empty Nest is on NBC. But
I like all the modern shows. The Golden Girls, Nurses.
The Mommies.
The Mommies.
I used to watch Nurses, by the way.
Oh, good.
There was another show that used to be on, I think it might have been on NBC, and it was called Me and Mrs. C, but that was an older 80s sitcom.
I do not remember that at all.
Okay.
But this will be Saturday night CBS. I think it should be an hour long. Alana's thinking a half hour. So there is some debate amongst the creators of this program.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be better on NBC or ABC?
I'm thinking CBS.
I'm sorry, CBS, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's the old folks network, but it's also young kids will dig this show, and we'll get that Mormon audience watching it, either watching or protesting. We haven't figured out what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I think they may be protesting the Book of Mormon musical than this one.
Now, I heard a rumor
that
they actually advertised for the Book of Mormon. Like, they paid to have an advert for the Mormon Church put in the musical program for the play. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I heard an interview with Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and there are some Mormons that actually did see the play, but I think maybe generally speaking, the Mormon Church probably would be very upset with this musical. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I've been hearing some mixed things about it.
South Park to me is very hit and miss. There's a lot of episodes that I think are just dumb and don't appeal to me. But when it's good, it can be great. And I was watching a lot of it this last week when I had that Rona.
Oh.
I watched their COVID special on
and
Paramount+.
You also watched the AIDS one too.
Yeah, I never seen the AIDS episode for whatever reason. That's the police.
Okay.
But I watched the COVID TV movie that they did for Paramount+, and that was really good. And it turned out that it started because Randy was having sex with some animal in China.
Oh, jeez. Who's Randy?
Randy is Stan's dad.
Oh.
There's also a great the Streaming Wars thing I watched this week. I watched the first part of it, and everybody calls Randy Karen, which I thought was fun. Because Randy has his weed farm. And he's just taking up all this water. And even in the pandemic movie, they're talking about how Randy was obsessed with his weed farm, and he said that his daughter had a marijuana problem because she didn't want to help out around the farm.
Okay. And well, of course she did. It was available.
No, but she did not that she was getting high, but she wasn't as interested in the farm.
Oh,
yeah. So he tied her up in the barn, and because there was so much contention over the weed farm, Stan set the farm on fire, not knowing that his sister Shelly was in the barn, and she ended up dying.
Oh no!
Yeah.
And how old was this Shelly girl?
She's like 12 or 13, and Stan's
she died.
Like 9.
And she died in the fire.
Yeah, because she was locked up in the barn because she wasn't doing her weed chores.
Oh no!
I thought that was great.
Oh, and so Stan killed his sister.
Accidentally, yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did he get in trouble for it?
I think they ruled it as an accident, but the mom ended up killing herself, and Randy wasn't very happy with Stan. And it kind of ruined the relationship. Because he also destroyed the weed farm.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Weed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, you watched some weird things, Bubs.
Nice, good, wholesome Christian.
No, it's not, Bubs.
I will tell you this, babes. I would say this.
Oh, what's that on her arm? Is it a mole?
Probably.
Okay.
As a Christian man,
you are not a Christian man, you buck.
What?
You are mocking.
All right, give me a kiss then.
No.
Yeah, give me a kiss for
You're
your sake.
mocking.
For your sake.
No, I don't kiss people that mock my own faith.
I don't either, babes.
Yes, you do.
Give me a kiss.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Doesn't that feel better?
I guess.
Yes.
Mocker.
Oh, it is. But I had some fun watching South Park. You know what else I did over the COVID isolation period, babes?
What?
I reread Star Trek, the first 50 years.
Really?
Yeah, which is about 24 hours long.
Whoa.
I think it's technically like past 40, but because of the speed I had it set at, it was roughly around that. Because I wanted something to occupy my time that I'd already read.
Yeah.
So I could just kind of like zone out but still listen to it.
Okay.
And that was a good listen.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
They did a really good job of covering things.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue is I wish they would have spent a little bit more time on DS9. But I still liked it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They talked about all the feuds, or a lot of them. At least the ones that are pretty well known.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah. I heard, babes.
Yep.
I don't think this is in the book, but I've heard it at other places. That Kate Mulgrew, who played Captain Janeway on Voyager,
yes,
hated her performance on the show.
Really?
I'm not the biggest Voyager fan, but I gotta say, I think she was excellent on that series.
Wow.
I think she's the best part of that show.
Oh, wow.
In my opinion.
Huh.
Yeah. Voyager is overrated, though, but she's good on it. She's legit good on that show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are our own worst critics.
That's right.
Yeah. Some people don't like their performances, and other people do. Some other people will say, "No, your performance is great."
Yeah, and then she went on to be Red on Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, what character is Red?
She's this Russian cook who's in prison, and she runs the kitchen in Orange Is the New Black. Yeah. I stopped watching after season 5, after they all took over the prison.
Who took over the prison? The inmates?
Yeah, after Pussy was killed, they had a revolt.
That's her name?
Yeah, Pussy was killed, and then they had the mutiny, and they took over the prison.
How did she get killed?
So Pussy went over because I believe somebody was being harassed, and there was this new guard, and the new guard just started like beating up on Pussy, and Pussy died.
That's her name?
Yes. By the way, I know it's a funny name, but legit, Pussy was a great character. One of my favorite characters on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, very smart, all that stuff.
So they gave each other nicknames then.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a while since I watched it, but I believe that's how Pussy died. What? That's really the name of the character.
It's a weird name. I don't know.
I know, it's a weird name. Fun show.
Who was the original character? What's her name?
Piper.
Oh, Piper. But that was her real name, right?
Yeah, that's her real name. I don't think they gave her a nickname in prison. If they did, I forgot what it was. Because you know how I am with all these names. And there's like 80 characters on that show.
Yes.
Oh, somebody's got that Rona.
Oh my goodness. It's junk.
There's things about Orange Is the New Black that I think are a little bit over the top, which is why I stopped watching it. But I did like a lot of that show.
And Orange is referring to their jumpsuits.
Yes.
Okay. And so they have all these cliques in the prison.
Yeah, and some of it is a little bit too nighttime soap.
Oh wow!
But it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, not the best show ever, but it's
yeah,
good.
I know it was really big for a while, but I never wanted to watch it.
I liked it. I remember once, babes, I skipped going to the self-love class
just to watch it.
Yeah, because I think the new season had just come out, and I emailed the person facilitating the group, and she wrote me back and said, "Rick, sometimes watching Orange Is the New Black is a form of self-love."
You actually told her that?
Yeah, I did. I'm like, I would have come this week, but I was watching the new season of Orange Is the New Black.
It sounded like she was understanding.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, it wasn't like you're watching B.D. Hyman stuff.
Exactly.
Which I think is kind of funny, actually.
Oh, Mother did this to us, and Mother didn't like it when I had sons, and Mother was against my family.
And Mother wanted me to be a mini Betty Davis.
Yes.
And Mother set fire to pictures of whoever it was.
Her enemies.
Her enemies.
I believe that B.D. Hyman, Betty Davis's daughter, Barbara, has a book out. Oh. Part of me really wants to read it, and part of me doesn't.
I don't think I want to read it. She sounds kind of weird.
She's definitely. I mean, I don't know, but I get the sense that she has some mental health.
When she was talking about binding spirits, because I know a lot of people think that you can do that, and I'm just like, okay, this is just really off the wall, cray cray. Mm-hmm. And I thought, no, this is just insane. It's funny, but it's like, oh yeah, she really, really thinks that.
So I'm conflicted about something.
What's that?
I told you this, that I have watched a fair amount of B.D. Hyman videos. Not recently, but this was not too long before you and I actually got together. Okay. Maybe 6 months before I got on a B.D. Hyman kick.
And I watched some of it too, I have to admit.
Yeah, but I didn't watch it because I thought this lady is making some great points. I watched it because I thought it was funny to watch this woman give crazy speeches about her famous mother. And I see the humor in it, obviously, because I watch so many videos. Uh-huh. And yet, part of me also thinks, by watching it and laughing, I am kind of having fun at the expense of a mentally ill person.
I think, maybe she isn't so much mentally ill, but she, what's the word I'm looking for? I think she's very misguided in certain things. I don't know that she's mentally ill. It's easy to say that if you really don't think the way that she does.
She sounded very unhinged, though. You would agree with that.
Yes, she did. But she has... it seems to me like she's got this, like... I don't know. I think she has a lot of resentment towards her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she needs to get rid of that resentment. But I also think doctrinally she is way off kilter.
Oh.
Yeah. That doesn't make her mentally ill. I think that makes her misguided and very, very maybe she's immature spiritually.
That's possible.
Or maybe she was taught certain things and she thinks that's the right way, but it isn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what her if she went to seminary or and some pastors don't, or not pastors, but some teachers don't go to seminary either. So I don't know. She may not be mentally ill. Maybe she's just very just misguided.
It seems like she must have a really bad life.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think it's fun being B.D. Hyman.
I do remember seeing her on an interview. I think she might have been on the Donahue show with Christina Crawford, and they were talking about their moms.
Oh, wow. So I've seen an episode of Donahue from like 79, and it's Christina Crawford. I don't think B.D. Hyman was on that episode, but it's possible that she was on another one.
It might have been a different show. I forgot what show it was, but she was a younger Barbara.
Yeah.
She was a younger B.D. Hyman, and she was talking about how her mom didn't like her husband Jeremy, and by the time she did those videos, she was still married to her husband.
Yep.
And she was saying, "Oh, mother didn't like it that I had boys." And
Jeremy spoke in class today.
What?
Do you remember that song by Pearl Jam? That song, Jeremy?
Yeah, but it wasn't about him speaking in class.
No, I know. It's about a kid who kills himself.
Jeremy's falling. Yeah.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
But that was not inspired by B.D. Hyman's husband.
No, and I don't even know how old this woman is. I think she's
got to be in her 70s now.
now, but when these videos were made, when does it say that they were actually?
It doesn't say.
Okay. It seems very old.
Yeah, it seems like it's the 70s or 80s, but I'm actually going to guess that it's just bad filming and that they were made in the 90s because she looks like an older woman in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that's got to be weird for Betty Davis, but she's dead now, so.
Oh my goodness. Yes, she is dead.
Yes.
Now, it amazes me, like, maybe not amaze is not the right word, but you notice how when she was acting and everything, and she was a smoker for a very long time, and I've noticed that her voice has been changing. Like, I remember she was being interviewed, and I forgot who interviewed her, but her voice was, when she got older, she kind of sounded like this.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
But when she's in Jezebel, it sounded different.
Yes.
But when she was in All About Eve, it was raspy, but it wasn't what it became.
No. She still had her voice.
Mm-hmm.
I love that part when she was talking to her fiance and she called him Groom.
That was great.
Groom. He's like, yes.
I can't believe when I'm talking with Justine Bateman about this film, and she asked me what parts did you find funny, my brain skipped a beat, and I didn't think to say when Betty Davis called her man Groom.
Yeah, because we just saw it.
I know.
Long before
we saw it like a couple of days earlier.
It was so good.
It was.
All About Eve.
Yes.
That was a great movie.
I like that a lot.
It was such a movie that really makes you think about obsession.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was really obsessed with Betty Davis's character. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That and the idea of celebrity.
Yep.
The only thing I didn't like about the movie, Babes,
yeah,
and it's a small complaint, is the ending was a little bit too on the nose.
Oh, about the younger girl watching her?
Who comes and volunteers to work with Eve Harrington.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then she's holding her dress at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it was kind of predictable, wasn't it?
I didn't like the ending.
Yeah.
But besides that, I thought it was a great film.
It should have been a different ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there shouldn't have been like another girl in the way, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very predictable. Like, oh yeah, of course, the young high school girl is going to be obsessed with this woman here.
With the woman who replaced Mother.
Right. Mother.
Jaylo.
Yes.
What did we do for dinner last night?
We made some very good baked potatoes, and this was probably the first real the first big meal that I've had since I was sick, and it felt really good to have an appetite, because both of us, when we were isolating ourselves and trying to get well, we both didn't have much of an appetite.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had to really force myself to eat at least one thing during the day. And it was hard because I wasn't hungry for a while. And I was tired, and all I wanted to do was rest. What did you feel?
Basically the same thing. Very weak.
Yes.
I wasn't hungry, which is kind of nice, but at the same point, you do have to eat.
Yeah. I couldn't walk about my apartment for too long. I could only maybe walk around the living room and the kitchen and try to clean up around the place. But my body was just telling me, you have to rest because you don't have your strength up yet. But I think both of our energies is starting to increase.
And I think with me, I had a little bit of brain fog just because of the lack of energy combined with very little sleep. Because, for example, today, we're making a chicken dinner in your slow cooker. And that's something I could easily do at home, easier than you because I have a bigger slow cooker. But it didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
And I think that was because of the lack of sleep.
Yeah, and when I was sick, there were times where I had to sit down and rest for a bit because my energy was so shot that I would say, okay, I'm not going to wash the dishes until later because I just can't. I can't stand there and wash dishes right now. I'm just too tired, and and I'm thinking to myself, geez, is my energy ever going to come back? And it's getting there.
Yeah,
for sure. It's not completely there yet, but it's definitely closer to being there than it was last week.
I don't think we're going to have long COVID.
No. I don't know a lot of people that have had it, but I've heard that it's people have had it, and I think it takes them sometimes it would take them a month or so. I
think, and I'm not a medical doctor, but I believe that's mostly with people who already have compromised immune systems.
I would agree.
End up developing a long COVID.
Because I don't know anyone that has actually had COVID longer than 2 weeks.
No, we know somebody who had it for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's right.
And this person was in great shape too, and was really thrown back by COVID. Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't think he's in as great a shape as he thinks he is. But that's just my opinion.
He's very athletic.
He is athletic, but remember,
he does drink a fair amount.
He drinks a fair amount, and he doesn't seem to care about how much sugar is in his system.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if you do, and remember, there are people that exercise a lot and can still get heart attacks.
That's true.
So you have to kind of think about that too. So even if your heart is working at the maximum that it can, you can still go down.
Yeah.
So is his immune system really that strong? I have my doubts.
After you went to bed, was it? No, it must have been this morning because the internet was back online. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Back to that in a minute. But it was either last night or this morning, but I got to think it was early this morning. Mm-hmm. I Googled Jim Fixx.
Who's that?
He was this health nut who really encouraged running and jogging. I believe I'm getting this story right. I don't know a whole lot about him. And he died of a heart attack when he was running.
Wow.
And he was 52 years old at the time. Mm-hmm. He had written a book that's popular in the running world. But they in the Wikipedia page, they made it seem like some doctors investigated his case because he was a well-known dude.
Mm-hmm.
And there was heart disease in his family.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, his dad died of a heart attack at the age of 43.
Oh, wow.
But had already had a previous one at 35.
That's super young.
And Jim Fixx made it to 52 before his heart attack.
That's really young.
Yeah. So they say that he was probably predisposed to these heart issues.
Yeah, so it's hard to say because there are people that don't have heart issues and they live to be as old as Jack LaLanne. Because Jack LaLanne was like in his 90s.
96,
I want to say. Yeah. And he was a super health nut. So it's hard to say, really.
It is.
Yeah, it is hard to say.
Yeah. But I noticed last night you needed to stop for a minute and kind of like lie down. When you were in the kitchen.
Huh?
You came back out and lied down on the couch for a little while.
I must have been tired or something because I almost fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you know why? It was because I ate pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I have leftovers from last night, but I ate too quickly. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to rest my stomach for a minute. And then I lay down on the couch and I almost fell asleep. And by the time I got up, it was 6 something. And I'm like, ooh, I better go wash the dishes.
Nice.
And I got that all taken care of. And then we were getting into the movies.
Before that, we were prepping our dinner and listening to various things, including Take the Floor.
Yep.
After we ate, I put on, they call it over there in London J to Z, but we would refer to it as J to Z.
Yep.
And they were doing a retrospective on the career of Ron Carter. You've never really listened to J to Z.
No, I haven't. This is the first time I ever heard it.
What did you think about it?
I liked it. I really did. Because Ron Carter was playing with some jazz, with Miles Davis, right? You said?
Yep, and a couple other people. I'm not as well versed on jazz as I should be, though.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Some people aren't, but I didn't even know about Ron Carter. He's real. I think he played bass, right?
Yep.
It was very good.
Do you ever listen to the BBC Sounds app when I'm not here?
I need to more because I'm a big fan of Take the Floor.
Yep.
I love their eclectic stuff. It's good stuff.
They have a lot of other good shows too.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm a big Giles Peterson fan.
Yeah.
I'm liking J to Z, but I also really enjoy Music Planet, which is a weekly hour-long show. I think I've played it for you before, where they'll do Brazilian music or...
And they had this Filipino guy.
Yeah, or Filipino music.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it. And I love hearing music from other parts of the world.
Yeah. I'm really surprised that more people don't talk about the BBC Sounds app. I think it's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I really like it. If you're like a music lover or you're very, very passionate about music like I am, it's such a good a plethora of different types of genres.
And you can also listen to their news programs, all their podcasts.
Yeah.
But I like it that it's like a better version of NPR One, in my opinion, which is NPR's podcast app.
Music stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think, and NPR One might have some music on it, but I really dig BBC Sounds.
It's good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it also has Giles Peterson on there, right? Too, right?
Exactly.
And Giles Peterson, as you said, a lot of his music choices are very obscure, and you can't even find them.
It's weird. I was reading that book last night. Is it last night that DJ saved my life, or last night a DJ saved my life?
That DJ or the DJ?
Something like that. And he's mentioned a lot of it in it. I hope I didn't say this before here, but apparently he was one of the, I guess, godfathers of acid jazz.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's also mentioned in that Dilla biography.
Wow.
Dilla Time, which is a very cool book.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Giles Peterson. Hey, where's Norm?
Norm? Who's Norm?
Norm from Cheers.
Oh, that's his last name, Peterson?
Yep, Norm Peterson.
So when they finally show Vera's face in the Thanksgiving episode, what does she look like?
She's covered in stuff because
Oh.
Diane threw, I want to say, either pie or some stuffing at Sam. He ducks his head as Norma's going to meet Vera, and then she comes in and her face is covered.
with food?
Yeah.
Or you never see Maris on Frasier, which I think is really funny.
Exactly.
You never see Maris. You probably hear her, but you never see her face.
I don't think you ever hear Maris on Frasier. I might be wrong. I don't know Frasier
remember when,
as well as Cheers.
Remember there were times where Niles would go back to to their house because he was going through a divorce with Maris, and he's trying to catch her with some guy, and Maris has been it's been implied that she has had multiple affairs on Niles.
But I don't think you hear her voice, do you?
I think there was one time where she was gargling.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
But you don't see her face.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
This is, of course, before Niles fell in love with Daphne.
Well, was it before they got together?
Way before they got together.
But he had already been in love.
With
Daphne, yep.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
With Daphne. Okay, so remember the part where Daphne and Niles run away together?
Yes.
Because anyone who hasn't seen Frasier, you have to see it.
It was after Don. She's supposed to get married to Donnie, right?
She's supposed to get married to Donnie, and she ran away with Niles. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish they would have done something different.
I would tell you this.
Yeah.
If it was me writing the show, I know for dramatic reasons it's kind of cool that she falls in love and leaves her man on their the
wedding day.
And I believe Niles had gotten married to that girl Mel. By that time, and but it was like an elope thing.
It was an elope thing, and they didn't really love each other, and yeah.
I would have actually had them get together with neither, and I would have done it before your girl Daphne gets engaged to Donnie, and I wouldn't have had Niles get married to Nell.
I know. I and Mel is just a horrible character.
Yeah.
I would not have had Niles get married to Mel, and then Mel expect or Mel was torturing Niles by letting everybody know that they're married. And,
exactly.
And how long are they? I think that it would have been better if Daphne let Donnie off the hook before they even got engaged.
I agree.
And Donnie ended up going crazy afterwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I'm going to say something that's controversial.
About Frasier?
Well, it's about Frasier, Cheers, and Star Trek.
Uh-oh.
So, Paramount has their streaming service, which all of Star Trek is there, and Frasier and Cheers are there. Mm-hmm. And because of that, they're not on any other streaming services, at least not here in the U.S.
Yes.
And what I'm about to say is probably going to sound insane. I think that the Star Trek franchise and the Cheers/Frasier television universe are both so important to us as Americans that they should both be considered in the public domain. So every service should be able to have them.
Wow.
That's how important I think they are to our cultural legacy as Americans.
That is controversial.
What do you think about that?
Well, I don't really have much to say because I don't know much about Cheers. Cheers wasn't really on my top favorite shows. I liked Frasier better than Cheers, but that doesn't mean that Cheers isn't good. Also, too, I didn't watch a lot of Star Trek growing up, and so this is your basic opinion.
These shows teach us so much about what it means to be American. They should just be on every streaming service and available to anybody for free.
Oh.
That's what I think.
Oh.
My own personal view.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Your own personal view.
That's right there. Jaylo.
But anyway, so we had a night of no power, but
not a full night.
Not a full night, but I am glad that by the morning everything was back to normal.
Yes. Babes.
Yes.
When I was really suffering from that Rona.
Oh my goodness. Both of us were.
I was too.
Oh goodness.
I listened to a book from Jackie Cooper, who was a child actor back in the day.
Yeah.
And he also went on to become a director. He directed a lot of episodes of MASH.
Really?
Yep, some TV movies.
Wow.
Some other shows.
Oh, wow.
He had talked about being in a movie called The Champ.
Yep.
Which I had heard about. And go ahead.
Can I interrupt really quick?
Go ahead.
The only movie I heard about called The Champ was the one in the 1970s was Ricky Schroeder.
Which is a remake of the original.
Right. And I heard that he was known for his crying scene.
The only reason I didn't want to watch the original is
what?
Can I tell my story, babes?
Yes.
The only reason I didn't want to watch the original was because for some reason I thought it was made in the 20s and that it was a silent film.
I'm glad you're wrong about that.
I'm glad I was too.
Yes.
And I haven't seen the remake, but I will tell you this. My mom has told me that the Ryan O'Neal version with Ricky Schroeder reminded her of my relationship with my dad.
Oh, wow. Wow, yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I haven't seen the movie. I'm just telling you what my mom said.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Uh-oh.
In any event, I believe in the book, Jackie Cooper said that he did not have a good relationship with the actor who played his dad in the movie.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
But we sat down last night and little Jaylo Champ and I saw the film, and I would give it an 8. I thought it was really good.
I thought it was very well done.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how, I'm actually glad that we saw the original one instead of the 1970s version.
Do you want me to break it down real quick?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to give the super neat, concise overview of this film.
Okay.
It's basically based, I'm guessing, in 1931, which is when the film was released.
Yes.
And there's a boy named Dink.
Yeah, that's his nickname. I think it's short for like Kadinkus or something weird like that.
Kadinkus is a very strange name.
Why would you name your son that? Anyway, his name is Dink. Yeah, let's call it Dink.
He lives with his dad, who is a former heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
But the champ has fallen on hard times. They kind of live in this flop house.
And he's got a major
gambling
issue and alcohol problem.
In Tijuana.
Yep.
Is where they're at.
Yeah, his name is Andy, the dad.
And Andy one day buys Kadinkus a horse named Little Jaylo Champ.
No. The horse is named Butterfly, but he changes it to Little Champ.
Little Jaylo Champ.
After the dad. No, it's not Little Jaylo Champ.
Oh, I thought it was.
Bubs.
Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't know what Jaylo is.
Oh, all good. So Kadinkus
or Dink.
Call
him Dink.
Enters the horse into a race.
Yep.
And there's a family who comes there, and there's like a rich white lady.
Linda and her husband, Tony.
And her husband.
And a little girl.
Lynn and Tone.
Linda and Tony.
Yes.
Not Lynn and Tone.
The race goes on. Little Champ loses. And Linda puts it together with the help of Tone that
Tony.
Kadinkus is actually her son. Dink is her son.
Yes.
And they want custody of him back. The champ just sees this as an opportunity to make some money, so they take him over to see Linda the next day. He doesn't really understand what's going on.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand who that little girl is.
It turns out it's his younger sister.
Yep.
So that night, Champ gambles some money that he got from Linda to see the kid. Gets up to $3,000. Dink falls asleep on, I think, a table.
A pool table.
I believe so.
Why? Which is like, why would you let your child fall asleep on a pool table?
It was early 30s in Tijuana.
I guess.
By the time he wakes up, Champ has lost everything, including the horse.
Yeah, he wasn't very responsible with his money.
Yep.
He lost everything. And Dink is looking for him in the stall.
Eventually, things go awry. Champ goes to prison, hits Dink when Dink comes to bail him out.
Yeah.
Dink goes away with your girl and then leaves the train, Linda, and Linda leaves the train in Tijuana, gets back, in San Diego.
and then gets back to
Tijuana.
the champ. Yeah.
Yep, the champ. The champ fights this fight for $20,000 against this guy who was like the heavyweight of Mexico.
Yep.
But he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going good. They go backstage.
He falls.
Champ collapses and dies. And then Linda comes in there and takes Dink away, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have anywhere to go now that his dad is gone.
Yeah, now he's got to go with Linda.
But he seems to have warmed up to her by then.
He's just sad that the champ had died, babes.
I know, but he did. But he seemed to have warmed up to her after all that.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I just think that he's really sad because the champ just passed away.
I know he said that the champ passed away, but his mom was back in his life. But we'll get to that in a minute.
By the way, the dying scene, I thought that kid did an excellent job.
Oh, I know.
Jackie Cooper.
It was so sad.
Yeah.
He's like, I want the champ.
I thought this was a really good movie.
And how the dad was saying, oh, come on, keep your chin up. Let your father see a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't want to see his son cry after he dies.
Yeah.
It was really sad. Yeah.
What does this film teach us about kids and freedom?
Well, that all depends on what you think about what freedom is.
Well, I think it pretty much goes without saying, even though this film is based in Mexico.
Yeah.
If you made an American film based in the modern day, I don't think you could have it where a kid just sleeps in a bar or just hitchhikes from, San Diego to Tijuana.
Yeah, you couldn't do that. Yeah, you couldn't do that.
And in a lot of ways, it doesn't break reality for me because I think that that's what kids actually did back then, is they had a lot more freedom.
Yeah, they didn't, parents didn't get in trouble for having free-range kids.
Exactly.
And now it's very irresponsible for a parent to let your 6-year-old travel by themselves.
So when we were growing up,
yeah,
we didn't have the freedom that Dink had.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't hitchhiking from Tijuana to San Diego or anything like that, or vice versa,
right.
When I was 7.
No.
But we were allowed to play outside without adult supervision.
They could be watching from the window. We would be okay.
Or just trust that we'd be back home in time.
Yep.
And I think that there are laws against that now.
For kids playing out?
Yeah. Like, I was allowed to stay home by myself during the day when I was 7. And I don't believe that that's legal anymore.
There was a couple of times where I had to be alone by myself, and it wasn't a lot, but there were times where both my parents had to be at work. And I can say this now that I'm an adult. But my mom didn't. Obviously, my mom didn't want anyone to know that I was by myself. But they didn't have a babysitter at the time.
Yeah.
And I was okay. I didn't touch anything I wasn't supposed to touch. And I was
joking everything.
Oh my goodness!
Sorry, keep going.
And I was mostly, resting in one of the rooms. And then my dad would come home for lunch and give me lunch, and then he would go back to work. And then they would be home in just a few hours with my other sisters. But there were times where I had to be alone by myself, but most of the time I was not. I would be with my grandma, or one of my aunts would watch me if they were available, or something to that effect, or one of my parents would stay home.
Right, but kids, I think, and I don't know this for sure because I don't have one, have less freedom now than they did when we were kids, and a lot less freedom than they did in 1931. I
think it's because parents are aware that there are crimes against children now. We have been inundated with stories about children being kidnapped right from their front porch or in broad daylight at a park, or child predators, right?
Mm-hmm.
Children are more at risk now than they were even before our parents were growing up.
Is it that they're more at risk or that it's more publicized?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it's both. You can't just leave your doors open like you used to, like kids used to when they were growing up.
See, I don't know if that was ever really the case, except for in very good neighborhoods. I think in the 1930s, people probably still locked their doors, even more so because it was during the Depression and a lot of people were out of work then.
I don't know. Some people, I've been hearing stories about, my mom, maybe not my mom and dad growing up. I mean, it's a different country, but
yeah,
kids growing up in the same generation as my parents saying that they never locked their doors. And I never understood that. I never understood why people did not lock their doors or close their windows. Because when we were kids, it was unheard of for families to keep their doors unlocked.
Absolutely.
And you wouldn't just leave your kid by themselves outside with nobody watching in public.
Well, I would disagree with that statement a little bit. I think you were allowed to play outside without adult supervision back when we were growing up. Now, maybe
Sometimes,
not at night,
yeah.
not when
Not
it
at
was
night,
dark,
no.
but during the day, you could definitely.
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
well my mom would just watch from the window when my sisters would be playing outside. I didn't play outside much because I had other things to play with inside. But no, she was always watching them.
Nice.
Always watching them, and she always knew how to get them to come back.
Don't worry, Mom, I'm still here.
Bubs.
Sorry, babes.
Stop it.
I never leave your house, Mom.
Oh.
Sorry, babes. All right, give me a kiss.
No.
Why not?
You mocking.
Okay,
you're mocking, boy. You're mocking today, bro.
Give me a kiss.
You're a little bit ornery today.
Okay, you're mocking.
Oh my goodness. But I mean, today I'm thinking, I mean, yes, there's the extreme where you've got free range parenting, right? Where they let their kids just roam all over the place, and that's not healthy. But then you also have severe helicopter parents that want to know everything that their kids are doing, and that's really not healthy.
It's a lot easier. I'll give you an example. When I was teaching back in the day, or a counselor, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
In 2009, I remember it was a big deal. It wasn't with me, but a parent called the camp and talked to the guy who was running things and said, I know where my daughter's at because I have a GPS on her phone and she's walking around near some dumpster right now. Why is this going around? Now, even though I taught travel, it was with another travel teacher.
Was she walking with somebody or just
Yes, she was walking with somebody.
Okay.
And I don't think it would have been a big deal if she was walking by herself because there would have been people nearby.
And the camp is small enough.
Yeah, but it was a big deal that this lady had put a GPS tracking system on her kid's phone in 2009. And I think between then and now, the technology has gotten so much more easier to do something like that for a regular person that nowadays, and I could be wrong, but it's just assumed that parents are tracking their kids' every move.
I think it's a little bit crazy to do that. I think that it should be used in emergencies. Like if you really don't know where they are because they usually come home at a certain time. I get that. But if you're doing it just to snoop on your kids, that's a little bit crazy.
How are they going to learn independence if you're always there to watch them? Or
exactly. I think there needs to be a balance, right? There needs to be a balance. I remember, did I even tell the story, this mobility story? I might not have.
Tell me.
But my sister decided to go on a mobility lesson with me and my then O&M instructor.
Your twin, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And
my teacher had to keep her 10 feet away from me because she was so watchful that she didn't understand what happens in mobility lessons. Like I could still be okay and my teacher be 10 feet behind me because they're watching. And that's what they're trained to do.
Exactly.
And my teacher had to tell her, and this is back when I was, I think we were in our early 20s at the time. This is before she had her kids. And she had to tell her, you have to step away from her because she needs to be independent. You can't keep a watchful eye on her. You can still watch her, but you have to be away from her enough so she doesn't feel that you're there. Because I didn't want her to be like constantly looking over my shoulder. It's kind of distracting.
Yeah.
And she had to tell her, you can't do that. You have to be 10 feet away from her and watch. You can still watch, just don't be too close. And I'm glad she told her that, because how am I supposed to learn? You're right. How are people supposed to learn?
I'm going to say something kind of controversial.
Yeah.
I kind of think that we should raise kids, maybe not in a flop house like Dink was.
Yeah.
And, sleeping on the table in a bar.
Yeah.
But I would rather have that extreme than have it where it is now. You know what I mean? I think both are bad for kids, but at least in Dink's case, he learned independence. And I think that that's better for kids than the way it is now.
I think there needs to be a balance. Like, there needs to be a balance of strictness, but you also have to teach, have ways to teach your kids how to be independent without them going to mommy and daddy for everything.
Yeah. Like, we've had the discussion multiple times. Rick's fantasy is, I get to relive my life knowing everything I know now when I die. Now, who knows? That remains to be seen if that's a possibility. But I am going to ask. But if for some reason I get that opportunity, one of the things I definitely would do is learn how to hitchhike from a young age.
Such a bad thing to do.
But it worked for Dink.
I still couldn't yeah, but that was a different time.
That's true.
I can't believe still today that you even admitted to me that you hitchhiked.
I wasn't a kid when I hitchhiked. I was 20 when I did it.
That is so dangerous.
Oh,
I wouldn't do it today. You don't even know who's driving the car. They could be a serial killer and you wouldn't even know until you were close to being dead.
That's true. Maybe I wouldn't learn how to hitchhike younger, but I'd be more independent.
I mean, you're lucky that the one guy went to stop and talk to his mother.
I know, that was weird. But this time I was hitchhiking home. But yeah.
Did he tell his mom, I have to go, I have to drop this one guy off?
I think so. This was really a long time ago. I don't hitchhike. I haven't hitchhiked, by the way, since like 2006 or 7.
So dangerous.
Oh my goodness. Well, I still love you, babes. And Dink hitchhiked without a problem, so. But I learned it from him.
Hitchhiked or whatever.
I'm assuming he hitchhiked. We don't see it on camera, but that's what I get from it.
Right.
Yes. What does this film teach us about motherhood and abandonment?
So, I mean, I have questions about this because it sounded to me like either she knew that she had a child, she knew that she had a child with Andy, but No, wait, I wasn't finished.
Go ahead.
Whether he was kept from her, or I have questions about it. I don't know. I'm not going to say that she was completely neglectful, but I also don't know what the not stipulations, but circumstances were.
Mm-hmm.
If she was being kept from her ex, if she was being kept from her son by her ex-husband, or I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah, something's kind of fishy there to me.
So I don't know. I can't say that she was bad, but I also don't know how much she knew about her son.
I think there's more to this story than meets the eye. Because
we'll never know, though.
We'll never know, but even back then, one of the few advantages women had over men in court was that women would get custody of the kids, even more so back then. And she was rich, so there's something. She did something.
I think her husband was rich, not her.
Okay, but still,
her husband was rich. She married rich.
Still, there's something up there.
But to me, it didn't seem like to me, it didn't seem like she didn't want her son. But I also want to know if he was being kept from her on purpose.
No, they said that the court gave
custody to him, but we don't know what. We don't know. We don't know why that was.
She said that it was because at the time he was the heavyweight champion of the world. But my whole thing is she's still his mom. And he didn't remain heavyweight champion, so she could have contested it again in court. So something's up with this lady.
So I don't know what the deal is. You can't say that the lady was completely wrong in this, because again, I mean, there's so many questions I have about this custody thing.
Yeah,
and also the father was neglectful as well too, because they were living in a flop house. They only had one bed. He gambled away his child's horse.
And the kid would put the dad to bed sometimes because the dad would come home.
And that's very irresponsible to have the child take care of a drunken father like that. It's very irresponsible now, and the child would have been taken away today. So I mean, both parents were not the best.
Exactly.
But but when she was interacting with her son, I really thought that maybe she felt like she should have done better by him. I didn't feel like she didn't want him or anything.
Yeah.
I think she really did want to care for him, but he didn't understand that because he was always with his dad, and they were always living like bachelors, and and the dad was just kind of like, okay, we'll just, my kid doesn't know much. I'll just, make money the way that I know how.
There's something about feral children that is kind of fascinating. And I know that he did have his dad, and at the end he goes off with his rich ma. But, he's as close to a feral child as you can be without actually being one.
Feral, yeah, and I've heard, I think I saw a documentary in school about feral children and how they were just left to run wild. And,
right, he's not that, but he's close to that.
He is close to that.
And in some ways, I also think to myself, this was around the time of The Little Rascals, right? The movie, The Champ.
The little
Right. And I know in The Little Rascals they're not feral children, and I haven't seen all of it.
I saw parts of it when I was kid.
But as far as I remember, there's not a lot of adults around with The Little Rascals.
Yeah, there are.
There are, okay.
There are adults, but you don't see them very much,
is what I'm trying to say.
It's kind of like the Peanuts gang, except the Peanuts gang is a cartoon.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, do you think something like The Little Rascals, one of the reasons it holds up is because it goes back to the idea of kids being independent. So yeah, they're little kids, but they're not relying heavily on adults like kids of today do.
At least doesn't seem that way. I don't know. I just thought of it as a funny, the funny shorts that I used to watch when I was a kid.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, the Little Rascals movie, which was made in the 1990s, there were adults in the movie.
94.
Yeah.
I believe. It looked like a dumb movie.
It's a fun family movie to watch when you're, when you're younger.
What do you think is better, that or the 1930s shorts?
I think the 1930s shorts were fun. So I don't know. But they were fun to watch when they're fun to watch when you're kids.
Nice. I've seen some of them, but I didn't watch a lot of The Little Rascals. I read a book about the politics of The Little Rascals a couple years ago, narrated by Bob Moore.
Oh, that's right.
I listened to it.
It's
on Bard. It's really good.
What was the politics of The Little Rascals?
Well, it was talking about how there's a lot of stuff to do with integration because there's black characters.
There's only one that Buckwheat.
But there's this other kid named Sammy Sunshine, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Who was in some of the earlier shorts.
Okay.
And it talked about how they do a lot of stuff by themselves. So if you see like a scene where they need a fire department, it's usually like the little kids doing it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. You should read it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember Sammy Sunshine, but I definitely remember Buckwheat.
Because the show went on for decades.
Yeah.
I think it actually started in the 20s.
Did they talk about Froggy?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Froggy was interesting. I think Froggy was supposed to be a little kid, but it sounded like he was the oldest one out of all of them. Froggy. Yeah. Yeah. And Alfalfa.
Alfalfa.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think happened to Dink after this experience?
That's a really good question. He either grew up well adjusted because he was in a more structured home. Because, whether or not you like Tony and Linda, they were a couple that was a lot more together.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
They may have had a lot of money, but I really think that we're going to provide him structure, not like his dad.
Yeah.
I think that this experience with him seeing his dad die would forever remain with him. He'll never forget it. So either he learns from it and grows up to be a better adult because of it, or he learns from it and he goes down a very difficult path.
Yeah.
Later on. So we don't know what happens. I don't know.
So another thing too is there's always this debate in film circles of what is a dated film versus what is a film that holds up.
Yeah.
And to me, I think the difference between a dated film and one that holds up, and there's nuance here, is a film that is reflective of its time and does a good job of it, versus a film to where it's just it's into the fad so much.
Uh-huh.
So it's like Married to the Mob.
Yeah.
Comes out in 1987.
It's so dated.
And it's dated.
Yeah.
But a movie like this resonates, even though it's 56 years older, because it's a reflection of its time instead of just copying the trends. And one of the ways we can see that is in the dad, who is down on his luck, but who used to be a success.
Uh-huh.
And let's not forget, this film came out in 1931, which is like a year and a half removed of the start of the Great Depression.
Right.
Where a lot of people lost their fortunes and kind of went from being metaphorically the heavyweight champion of their times, titans of industries, to being broke almost overnight.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Well, I mean, you could do the same thing for the movie Freaks, right?
Yes.
Because Freaks, if you think of it today, it so resonates with what's going on today, or how people used to think of people with disabilities, right? Mm-hmm. And it was dealing with people with disabilities, and how even today there are some people that have a very distorted view of how people with disabilities live their own lives. But they don't see them so much as freaks.
Yeah.
They think that they can't do anything. Some people think that way, not everybody. And how it's still kind of distorted, but differently. If that makes any sense.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I would give this film an 8.
I would too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it to your family?
Yes, I would.
What's your elevator pitch?
I don't know if I really have one, to tell you the truth. I know my family likes to watch boxing, but I think it would be interesting to see how the story is portrayed in the 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Very good.
Very good there, Jaylo.
Very good there.
And then last night we watched part 1 of Little Women.
Uh-huh.
And this morning we continued the film.
Yes.
Once the power came back on.
Yeah. I'm gonna give kind of the summary of it, because there's a lot of things that happen.
And you also read the book.
And I also read the book, and it's a very good book. So it's written by Louisa May Alcott, and it's about a poor family with a mother and father and 4 young girls. Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy. And in the beginning of the movie, you see the 4 girls living with their mother because their dad is off to war, and they're a very poor family, and they have a housekeeper named Hannah.
And we're assuming that this is the Civil War, right?
I don't know, actually.
Okay.
It probably is. And I forgot where they're from. But they, this is in the winter time. This is like close to Christmas time. And they're trying to figure out, what can they do for their mom, because they're, in all intents and purposes, their mom, who they call Marmee, which is kind of a funny name, is, taking over, taking care of the children while the father is away. And they're very poor, and they have to kind of figure out, what they're going to do for food and all that. But meanwhile, the girls are doing things like they're taking care of children. Their mother is helping with the birth of one of their neighbors' kids. Joe wants to be is an aspiring writer, and she kind of is boyish. And the three other girls are trying to get her out of that attitude of being so boyish. Beth is really into music, but she's very timid and shy. Amy's kind of a selfish girl, thinking about her own things because she's the youngest. Meg, of course, wants to be married to wealth, and she wants everything that a woman wants in dresses and going to parties and getting noticed and all that. And so they're kind of doing their own thing. They befriend a guy named Theodore Lorry, Lawrence, who they call Lorry for short. And the grandpa gets to know the girls, and Beth ends up going to their house because the grandpa's rich, and Beth goes to their house to play the piano, and she's very, very grateful about that. And would you like to add a little bit more? I don't think I wanted to say too much about the movie.
We don't have to say a lot, but there's a death. Joe grows up a little bit, and at the end of it, she has her book published and falls in love.
She falls in love with a professor who has a book published.
Yeah.
Amy ends up marrying
Lori.
And I'm not going to get too far into that.
Yeah.
Meg ends up marrying Lori's tutor, John Brooke, and they have twins. It's a good movie. I like this version. There's a couple of scenes that were missing from this version, though.
So I've only seen before this the 1994 version, and I've not read the book. So
yeah, one of the things that was missing was the
destruction of the book
scene where Amy destroys Joe's manuscript,
mm-hmm.
And then there was one scene where Joe burns Meg's hair before they go to a party. And that's both scenes are in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you like better, the book, the 1994 movie, or the 49 film?
Oh, wow. Out of all of them, I think the book really gives details to the March family.
I need to read it.
It's a very good book. It's 942 pages in print in Braille. I'm sorry.
That means it's like 300 in print, though.
It could be, yes.
Yeah.
But I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so too, because I like both film versions of it.
I like both film versions too. I wish they would have included those two scenes that were missing from the 1949 book. Aunt March was definitely an old bag.
Yeah.
I didn't like her. I didn't like her in both movies, actually. Yeah. Did you understand why Joe and Lori never got together?
Because Joe was a little bit out there, it seemed like, and she wanted to distance herself from Lori so she could devote herself to becoming a writer.
Well, actually, the thing that I got from the 1994 movie was that Joe and Lori were too much alike.
Oh, interesting.
And the reason why they were too much alike is because they were both too much like each other, and that's why they never ended up together. And Joe knew that wasn't going to happen.
Nice.
When I first saw it the first time, I'm like, why did Lori end up with Amy? But somehow they got familiar with each other as time went on.
Nice.
When Joe was gone.
What film version did you like better?
Oh boy, they were both good. I think I don't know, actually. They were both good. I really couldn't tell you which one I liked better.
That's fair.
Because I just wish that they had those two scenes in the older version.
Yeah.
But they were both good in their own ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Winona Ryder was really good as Joe.
She was.
Yes. and Claire Danes was Beth.
Yeah, Claire Danes is a good actress.
She was very good in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forgot who played Meg and Amy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Amy was Kirsten Dunst, and I forgot who was Meg.
Yes.
But they were both very good movies.
Yeah, they were.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's kind of, when you see that movie or read the book, it really brings you back in time to how things were like when they were growing up.
I do want to read the book now.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
I might have to do that, babes.
And I think that's why Little Women is such a classic.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yes. Jaylo?
Yeah?
I'm assuming you would recommend this movie to your family.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Have you told them about the book?
No, we saw the 1994 version though.
Okay, so they can put two and two together.
Yeah, I never told them about the book, but I made a point to read it my junior year because I wanted to read as many classics that year, and I did read it. It was really good.
Well, good.
Yes.
I understand that you had some dreams last night.
Yes, I did. I had a dream. Part of the dream was you were cooking something in my kitchen, and they turned out being like a mix between wontons and egg rolls with cheese in them, and they turned out really good.
Oh, good.
And you made a sauce that went with it, and it turned out good.
Nice.
And it kind of reminded me of your friend who said that he made 40 egg rolls
for his son.
Which I'm thinking, how did he do that? And he claimed that his son ate 20 egg rolls and said, "These are the best egg rolls I ever had." Nice. I have questions about that.
Oh my goodness.
And then the next dream was I was taking this math class, and I'm thinking, why am I taking math? And I asked this girl, I said, "Hey, do you have to take math on Wednesday? Couldn't I just have a day off of math because I really don't like this class?" And she said, "Oh yeah, you can do that. You can take math on Wednesday, or you don't have to take math on Wednesday." And I can't remember what happened to it, but I woke up afterwards. Did you have any dreams?
No dreams. I haven't had any dreams that I could remember since the start of COVID.
But those two dreams were weird.
Nice.
Yes, it was.
Nice. Well, since the start of my COVID.
My goodness. Yes.
Well, babes.
Yes.
I think we might want to wrap this up, unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
We talked about quite a bit, haven't we?
Yeah, we got a lot out today.
And I'm very thankful that we are at the very end of our sicknesses, and that we are going to get better and better as the day goes on.
Yeah.
Days go by. Yeah.
Very good, babes.
Very good.
All right, give me a kiss.
Okay. My goodness.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.